Your dreams require a mentality update, which is why in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you 2 ways in which you can update your mentality. And I'm even going to be sharing with you what it will do for your life. Now, I understand that the change your mindset, change your mentality message sounds cliche and even simple, but very few people actually take action on the simple things. And so if you want to be successful, you're going to need to start doing the simple things. And the best place to start is your mentality. Now, make sure that you stick around for the entire episode because at the end, I'm going to be giving you a bonus action step on how you can update your mentality. So let's do it. Welcome, everybody, to the Dream Lifestyle Podcast, where the focus and purpose is to help you find your how to your biggest goals. My name is Trevon Gross Jr., and I'm excited to have you here because you matter, your dream matters, and I believe in you. I'm super excited about today's episode because we're talking about a mentality update. Okay. Now, before I really get into this episode, be sure if you haven't already, press subscribe, hit the like, leave a comment, grab your free dream workbook. It's right there in the description link below. Really, really quickly. It's easy. I'm telling you, do it. It's so worth it. It's a great resource for you. Again, if you are somebody that is feeling stuck as you are trying to go towards your goals, as you're trying to achieve more, achieve better, gain more in your life, be sure to grab those resources for you and just engage with this channel because, again, everything that I talk about here on this platform is about you finding your how. And I have the honor and privilege today to talk about a mentality update. Okay. And what I'll also preface this episode with is this is not going to be your cliche, simple sounding, change your mindset or, think good thoughts and they'll happen. Like, this is not going to be that type of episode. But what I will tell you is that this episode is going to be the type of episode that if you decide to be intentional with this episode and listen to the 2 things that I'm going to be sharing with you in terms of in terms of how to update your mentality, you're going to see a change in your life. Okay, because the 2 things I'm going to share with you are very practical. They're very practical things that you can do like as soon as this episode is done. Okay, as soon as you get done listening to this episode, you can apply these 2 things into your life. And I'm telling you, you're going to notice a difference in the way in which you make decisions. You're going to notice a difference in the way that you just show up in your own life. Okay, and I'm even going to be sharing with you as well just the benefits of applying these 2 things in case you don't believe me. All right, so the very first way in order to update your mentality is to find a success model. And the reason why you want to find a success model is because there's already somebody that's living the dream that you have in your heart. Now, they're not you, but there are people on earth that already have the millions of dollars. There are already people on earth that have the influence. There already are people on the earth that are making the impact that you're looking to make. Okay. And the reason why that is important, the reason why I'm telling you that it will update your mentality is because there are levels of being that success model has that you don't have yet. Because if you guys had the same level of being, you would be where they are right now. And because, especially in the information age that we're in today, where most people have a podcast, most people have some sort of book, YouTube, whatever the case may be, some sort of way to get in contact with them, to be connected to that person, you need to find a success model that you can basically take some levels of that being and apply to your own life. So for me, use myself as an example. When I started studying, the Grant Cardones of the world, the Tony Robbins of the world, the Simon Sinek's of the world, just so many amazing, successful people, The Rock, Kevin Hart, different people, that they all had very strict workout routines, as well as they woke up early in the morning, right? Now, do I have all that they have? No. Do I do all that they do? No. But what I was able to implement into my own life, which has made a pretty big impact for me in my life in terms of the things that I am able to do today and the things that I'm able to have today in comparison to where I was able to implement waking up early into my day, into my life. And what that did for me, I was able to have more time in my day. I was way more productive. And when I was more productive, well, results came because the simple law of sowing and reaping. So when I sowed in my time, when I gave myself more time and I put in productive hours during that time, a great output, a great harvest came for me, right? But that was just from basically looking at my success models and applying that level of being into my own life, right? Even with working out, there are a bunch of studies being done, or that are already done, I should say, that working out helps with your emotions. It helps with just the way that you feel. It helps with the way in which you just show up in your life. And I've always been someone that's worked out just with my experience with basketball and things like that. So I already understood this. But again, seeing them basically demonstrate and really talk about and explain how working out has allowed them to be as successful and reach the levels that they have, and just the role that working out has done for them, it gave me a whole new viewpoint. It updated my mentality towards working out. Because for me, for a very long time, I only worked out just because I played basketball. But once I started to study the people and I found my success models that are basically living the life that I want to live and having the type of impact that I want to have and living the type of purpose-filled life that I am living now, but just on that level, it allowed me to see, okay, wait, there's more to this working out thing than just an activity, which is basketball, which I love. But I then was able to tie working out to something way more important, because me working out allows me to serve you as a viewer. It allows me to serve my students. It allows me to serve every single person I come into contact with. But that's just because, and my mentality was able to be updated simply because I found success models that had levels of being that I didn't have. And I decided to take action and apply those levels of being to my life. Okay. And you guys are hearing me say levels of being, and basically like what I mean by that, if you guys are new, essentially with being, I talk about a principle that is be, do, have, where a lot of us focus on, before we can take action or before we can do anything to change our lives, we have to do a certain thing or we have to have certain things before we can basically live the life we want to live. When the truth is, the blind spot is to the being. And the being is where your beliefs, just who you are, your identity and your purpose and your passions, that's where all your being is, right? And a lot of the foundational habits and everything like that is found in the being. And so when you find your success model, you're able to study them. You're able to connect with them. And now, even I'll mention this too, you may be listening to me and you're like, well, okay, I have people that I look up to, but they're not in close proximity to me. Well, the only thing I would ask you is, do they have a book? Do they have a course you can buy? Do they have a YouTube channel you can watch? We're in the information age. So there's really no excuses to not be able to connect with somebody unless they're just completely underground. But at least I'm assuming the type of person that you would choose as your success model has some level of media, literature, something that you can connect with to basically learn more about their story, to learn about what mentality did they have that got them through, that allowed them to have the levels of success that they have. And again, when you hear these stories, when you find your success models, you're going to start finding the type of mentalities that you can have, the type of mentalities that you can apply to your life, the type of power statements that you can add to your life, the type of understanding of life that you can apply to your life that will truly just elevate your life to a completely different level. But it's because you found people that basically have already done what you're looking to do. And that is the power of finding a success model. And so I'd say all of that to say, in order for you to update your mentality, you're going to need a success model. All right. And not just any success model. So I'm not just saying just pick anybody that is quote unquote successful. You need to find a success model that is within the circle of your dream. All right. Don't just pick a random person. You need to be able to clearly tell me why they're your success model. Okay. As an example, if you are an aspiring actor, right? And I ask you, who's your success model? You do not need to be telling me Tony Robbins, because Tony Robbins is not an actor, right? Great performer, great man, definitely a successful person. But that's not your success model. You need a success model that is within your lane. So if you're an actor and you tell me, well, my success model is Kerry Washington, my success model is Will Smith, my success model is Leonardo DiCaprio, those are your success models. You look at them, find out what did they do when they didn't get the call? What did they do when they were in between? Different things like that. What levels of being can you take from them? Because you want to be an actor. Right. And that's more position. But in terms of the person that you need to become, so that way you can have the level of success as an actor. Right. As an example, again. But apply that to your own life, whether you're a salesperson, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an athlete, whatever role you play, whatever role you fill, make sure you find a success model. All right. So that way you can apply that level of being to your life, which will update your mentality. Okay. And again, updating your mentality is going to lead to the decisions that you make. All right. And when you find your success model, you give yourself a better chance and you put yourself in position to do that. All right. Now, the second way in which you're able to update your mentality is you need to start thinking about your legacy. And the reason why you want to start thinking about your legacy is because thinking about your legacy will cause you to start making different decisions. When you understand that there is a limited amount of time here on this earth, because at the end of the day, our bodies are going to die. You're going to die at some point. Okay. Now, thankfully, no time soon. To be clear, I'm not wishing death on anybody, and even for I expect to live a long life. But the fact is, this earthly body is going to decompose at some point. At some point, I will not be here anymore. At some point, we will not be here, and the next generation will be basically picking up and carrying the torch, as it were. And so when you start thinking about your legacy, when you think about the type of impact you want to make, and you start thinking about just what you want people to be able to say about you, you're going to start making different decisions, which will be led by an update of mentality, because you're going to start making different decisions based on how you want your reputation to be, right? When you think about your eulogy that'll be said, what do you want to be said? Do you want people to just say, oh, he was a cool person, oh, she was fun to be around, and that's it, right? Like that's all that's said. Or would you rather your eulogy be something along the lines of, every single time I talk to them, like they made my day better. I really breathed easier in my own life because I interacted with that person. Like, again, when you understand your legacy and you've answered these types of questions, right, and you just understand what's at stake for your life, you will then have an updated mentality because you understand what's at stake. Okay, you will understand what's at stake. And it starts with you just thinking about your legacy. Like, what do you want to leave behind? Who do you want to impact? How do you want to impact the world? Because it's very possible, because understand the dream that you have in your heart is meant to impact the world. And all of us are impacting the world even now as we live and breathe. It's just a matter of, are we impacting in a way that's positive? Are we impacting in a way that's neutral? Are we impacting in a way that's negative? But it's up to you to make the decision, the consistent decision, to positively impact the world. But that's going to come with the mentality update when you understand your legacy, when you understand what you want to be said in your eulogy, because it's going to lead to your decisions that you make. And again, it's all just a trickle down effect. It's all a snowball effect, because again, for me personally, I know the type of legacy that I want to leave. I know what I want to represent. I know the type of message that I want to leave behind, not just for my future kids, but for, friends, family, coworkers, strangers, whatever. I want my name to be synonymous with a specific message, which is anything is possible as long as you're willing to work for it. I want my message, I want my legacy to be that of, put God first and worry about everything else never. Like, that's the type of message that I want my legacy to be. And because I understand that, I make decisions a certain way in my life today that allow me, a higher level of being, which leads to my doing, the decisions that I make, and then ends with what I'm able to have. And I'm very blessed. I'm thankful that all that God has allowed me to do. But it starts with, one, me understanding, that my time here is limited, and that there's a lot that I want to do. There's a lot that God's placed on my heart to do. And it's up to me to really take action towards doing that. All right. And so I'm telling you, when you do those two things, you really will notice a difference in your life. All right. And I'm going to get into what the exact things that will change when you update your mentality by finding a success model, as well as defining your legacy. Okay. But please make sure you do those things. Please hear my heart. Do those two things. Find your success model and then define your legacy. All right. And there's ways you can do that. Connect with me. I'd be happy to help you. But now I'm going to give you guys just 3 ways or 3 things that are impacted by you updating your mentality by finding a success model as well as defining your legacy. All right. Now, the first thing that's going to happen when you update your mentality is that your solar system is going to change. Okay. Now, solar system, by how I define it, is who or what is around you. All right. Now, in terms of people, the people that are around you are going to change because you've upgraded your mentality. Because understand, in the same way, systems in technology and how updates work, when you have an old system, right? Think about this, right? Your old group of friends, when you have an old operating system happening and you are upgraded, eventually, right? All my Apple users and really any technology user will understand this. At some point, the newer technology, the newer update is not going to be able to support the old update. And the same is true just with your circle of friends. The same is true with, the media you consume, whether it be social media, podcasts, movies, whatever the case may be. The things that used to interest you and even challenge you and motivate you aren't going to do that anymore because you're elevating your level of being. But it starts with you updating your mentality. And so your solar system is going to change. The type of information that you're looking for is going to change. The type of people that you want to be around or even you find yourself around, that's just like the law of attraction. The people that you find yourself around are going to change. You're going to find yourself with more influential people. You're going to find yourself around more purposeful people. You're not going to find yourself around people that, haven't defined their success model or haven't defined their legacy. You're going to find yourself around people that want to change the world and have dreams in the same way that you want to. And that's one of the things that's going to happen when you update your mentality. Now, the second thing that's going to happen when you update your mentality is that it'll upgrade your goals. And the reason why this is going to upgrade your goals, because again, this is why that success model is so powerful. You understand just what's possible, because so often we're limited. We're limited by, our fears. We're limited by our experiences. We're limited by our stories sometimes. And so, yes, we have enough courage. We have enough power to have a dream and dream it. But so often we allow those fears to suppress what is really on our heart to do, right? For example, there's some of you out there that may want to start a business, may want to start a brand, but your vision, because of your fear, because of your anxiety, because of your overthinking, whatever it is that's holding you back, is only having you be at a lower level, right? You may think, well, the goal is to only impact 100 people when God put the plan on your heart to impact millions, right? But when you upgrade your mentality and you find your success models that are operating at that high of a level, and they really tell you practically because you're connected to them how they did it, your goals are going to upgrade. Like in conjunction with your solar system changing, when you're around different people, you're going to be exposed to some different things. Like I'll give you a perfect example, and my mind was blown by this. I remember I went to, it was a virtual conference. It was a 5-day challenge. And for me, I have always had a goal of, making $1 million at some point, right? That is an absolute goal of mine. I'm not ashamed of that. Do what you will with that information. But, for me, it was, oh man, like I just want to make millions of dollars a year. I want to make millions of dollars a year. Like I want to have $1 million year within the business. Like I want my business, I want Craft Your Dream, I want my other business ventures, to make $1 million a year, right? And I got into this room and I started hearing these people talk about making $1 million in a day. And when I tell you, my mind was blown because again, it's not like they're talking about it in the way in which I was thinking about it. Because if you had said to me, oh, $1 million a day, how in the world do you, like, I would have done it, like, I would have responded to it like, how, no way, like, that's, okay, that's a one-off, like, there's no way you consistently do that. They're in this room talking about, no, this is the reality. Like, every day, I'm going to do something to make $1 million. Like, I'm going to have $1 million day. Like, that's what they call it, $1 million day. Like, when I tell you, it just opened my brain to just possibility, right? It opened my brain up, but that was because I upgraded my mentality. I found success models, which led to me changing my solar system. It changed the podcasts I listened to. It changed the YouTube videos I watched. It changed the books I was reading. It changed the types of courses I was buying. It changed everything for me, and it upgraded my goals, okay? And it upgraded my goals, and I'm super thankful that it did because it's basically revealing what God has already placed in me. All right. And that was all only a result of me finding my success model and then defining my legacy. All right. Now, the last thing that it will do, the last thing that upgrading your mentality will do for you, and I've said this throughout the entire episode, but I wanted this to be its own point, is that it will upgrade your being. All right, it will upgrade your being because, again, be, do, have. And this is something I really want you to apply to your life. When you think about any goal that you have, right, and let's say the goal is in the have category, you really need to reverse engineer it and think about, okay, what do I need to do? And then more importantly, who do I need to be? Who do I need to become in order to have what I want to have? And yes, easier said than done. Yes, some of you are probably going to listen to me and not even take action, but there may even be one of you. I believe that there's going to be one of you that takes me up on what I'm talking about. And when you decide to upgrade your mentality, and you may even be successful right now, but you want more, right? Or you may be in a place where you feel stuck. When you decide to find your success model and allow them to shine light on your blind spots and take the levels of being that you can apply to your life today, and you decide to define your legacy and make your decisions based on the legacy that you want to live, you're going to see your solar system upgrade, you're going to see your goals upgrade, and then you're going to see your levels of being upgrade. I'm telling you, the things that used to stress you at one point are not going to stress you anymore because you've elevated your level of being. The things that you used to worry about are not going to worry you anymore because you've upgraded your level of being. And all of that comes from upgrading your mentality. All right. Now, I'm even going to give you guys a bonus. I'm going to give you guys a bonus step on what you can do to upgrade your being. Okay. Or I'm sorry, upgrade your mentality. Same thing, synonymous. You need to get in the room. All right. And what I'm telling you to do, there's a room that I'm hosting on December 17th, and it's called the Dreamer Symposium, where we are going to get real about our goals. We're going to get clear on whatever it is your goal is, and we're going to find your how. I'm guaranteeing that you will leave this room knowing your how. Okay. And so that's your action step. And all you have to do to get in this room is you need to go in the description link below me, click the link that's there, get your ticket, whether you get a room ticket or a VIP ticket. VIP tickets are available until December 1st. So there's a limited amount of time. Make sure you get your VIP ticket because I heard that I might have something special for you guys. All right. Just might. Probably will. But make sure you get a ticket into this room because, again, for me, I'm telling you my personal experience, me upgrading my mentality. Yes, I was able to find my success model. Yes, I defined my legacy. But through me connecting with my success models, I learned that I needed to be in the room. Okay. And I'm telling you, you cannot lose when you get in the room. There is a guarantee that you will walk away better when you get in the room. And this is just general. Like, I'm not even talking about my room. I think my experiences are pretty great. That's what people have told me. But you want to make sure that you get in the room with the right people that will inspire you for growth, that will inspire you to grow, that will motivate you to grow and really teach you how to grow. That's what I did. And I'm telling you, life is good. I'm very thankful for what I've been able to learn in some of the rooms that I've been able to be in. So I'm encouraging you to get in the room, check it out, Dreamer Symposium, December 17th. All right. And I look forward to seeing you there. Grab your ticket. But again, make sure that you take action from this episode. Make sure that you do something that will allow you to be connected to your success model. So first, find your success model. And then second, I want you to define your legacy. All right, define your legacy, and then it will lead to you upgrading your solar system. It will lead to an upgrade of your goals, and it will lead to an upgrade of your being, which will change everything for you. All right. So I hope you got some value out of this episode. I really appreciate you guys for checking it out. Be sure again to press the subscribe button if you haven't already. Be sure to like this episode, comment anything that you think. I love hearing from you guys. And always remember, your dream is possible as long as you're willing to work for it. I'll see you guys next week.